Right, Devereaux Frazier, and we are back, Week 16 NFL preview. Got a lot of big games today. We're going to start off the injury report this week. Aaron Rodgers is out for today's game against the Steelers. He will not play. Eddie Lacy returned for practice from an ankle injury. He looks like he's going to play. He is probable. Devereaux has a concussion. He's expected to play, and Carson Palmer has an ankle. He is being labeled as a game time decision, and it would be a very big shock if he did not play. Adrian Peterson's questionable against the Bengals, but it sounds like Peterson's going to get the start. T.Y. Hilton is questionable today against the Chiefs with a shoulder injury, and the Jaguars running back Maurice Jones-Drew is optimistic that he could play. If he doesn't, Jordan Todman could get another start if he does not play. See, Joe Hayden is going to travel. Browns quarterback Joe Hayden is going to travel with the Jets, and he'll be a game time decision. He's got a hip injury. He is questionable. Wes Walker, the second concussion past 2 months. He will miss today's game against the Texans. And Nate Solder and Kimbrel Tompkins of the Patriots. Solder with a concussion and Tompkins with the hip. They have both been ruled out. And Chiefs punt returner Dexter McCluster looks like he might be able to play this week after missing last week with an infection in his ankle. And Justin Houston is questionable with an elbow injury. He would be a very big boost if he were able to play. And that little major injury news. Oh, one more thing. Champ Bailey, foot injury. He will return to the lineup today. He is probable. Alright, so now that we have the injuries, break down the games. We'll start with... I'm not sure which game I'll start with. I don't know. Start with Denver and Houston. Denver travel on the road to Houston. Texans going to start Matt Schaub this week. So we'll not say Case Keenum. We'll see Matt Schaub. Went on that streak with pick sixes. Broncos, without Wes Walker, lost last Thursday night without Wes Walker, although Andre Caldwell, his replacement, did have 2 touchdowns. And last time these two teams met, J.J. Watt did have 2.5 sacks. I think his game is going to be the Broncos' ability to put up points. You know, Matt Schaub isn't very consistent, so if the Broncos can get a little bit of pressure, get a couple turnovers, this could easily turn into a blowout. I'm going to take as much as I hate it, I'm going to take the Denver Broncos. I just don't see the Texans putting up enough offense or defense to really stop the Denver Broncos and Peyton Manning this week. Next up, Buffalo and Miami. E.J. Manuel's out this week, so Thad Lewis will get the start. He beat the Dolphins earlier this year, and that was in Miami. Looks like Fred Jackson and C.J. Spiller might get a few more carries now that they have backup in Dolphins. So against the run. Bills lead the league 49 sacks, and the Dolphins have given up 53. So I think the pass rush is going to get to Ryan Tannehill. And as well as the Dolphins have played the last few weeks, I think the Bills are going to get this win. I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm taking Miami though, because I just think they're playing good football right now. I think the short passes will get the ball out of Tannehill's hands before the pressure can get to him. I think the Dolphins' reliable running game, as well as the development of tight end, H-back, fullback Charles Clay, definitely be a huge factor in this game. Saints Panthers division, as well as them that you see in the NFC on the line. Saints win, they get it. Panthers win, they get it. These two teams met week 14. That was in New Orleans. Of course, the Saints won. This is now in Carolina. Drew Brees 3-4 on the road this year, and his passer rating at home at 125. His passer rating on the road falls to 86.5. And they were playing the Rams last week, and they lost 27-16 with Brees throwing under for throwing for under 300 yards, and he also threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter. I'm going to take the Panthers here. Got their running game. The defense is going to feed very well off the home crowd. The Saints struggle on the road, make it 3-5. And I see the Panthers winning the division and taking the number 2 seed. Since 2008, this division has had a different winner every year. Looks like it's the Panthers' turn. Vikings and Bengals. Vikings coming off a big win. This is the most points. Last week they scored 48. They scored the most points since 1990. Yes, 48 points. Forgive me, 1998. 48 points, most they've scored since 1998 last week in the win against the Eagles. Adrian Peterson's going to play, so we won't see. Adrian Peterson looks like he's going to play, so we won't see Matt Asiata. Peterson's a little better though, so might be a little better on the ground rather than 30 carries for 51 yards. 3 touchdowns though for Matt Asiata, so definitely did get into their end zone. For the Bengals, though, they got a lot of offense, and they do have a pretty good running game with Green Ellis and Gio Bernard. Taking Cincinnati, they're at home. I expect the Bengal pass rush to get after Matt Castle and the Vikings. Matt Castle's played pretty well, and so well that he's going to enter next year as the presumed starter. But I'm not really sure they're able to beat the Bengals this week unless the Bengals do something really stupid and they just give this game away. The Bengals should put up enough offense and defense to keep the Vikings down. Bengals got this. Bengals should have this win. Jaguars and Titans. Jaguars beat the Titans 20-17 earlier this year. Titans coming off a very promising game last week. Despite losing, Kendall Wright 12 catches, 150 yards, both of them career highs. For the Jaguars, MJD probably won't play, so we'll see another week of Jordan Todman. He had over 150 scrimmage yards last week against the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to take the Titans in this one. While the Jaguars have played pretty good football, the Titans have definitely opened up their offense, passing the ball to Kendall Wright, Delaney Walker, and Michael Preston caught 2 touchdowns last week. I'm going to take the Titans in this one. And their defense has also been pretty nice as well. So I think they're going to get an edge there over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Colts, Chiefs. Chiefs coming off a big win. Jamal Charles coming off a big win against Oakland last week. Indianapolis Colts coming off a win against the Titans. There's also a potential playoff preview. Due to the seedings, these teams could meet up as early as a wild card round. That Chiefs would have to go to Indianapolis, though, even though the Chiefs have a better record. You could thank the Denver Broncos and Peyton Manning for that one. Chiefs, they should have Houston McCluster back. And Kansas City does not. They've lost a couple games at home this year, but overall they do not struggle at home, whereas the Colts struggle mightily on the road. Trent Richardson over 100 scrimmage yards last week against the Titans. This is the Chiefs defense, which is a lot stingier against the run. Taking the Chiefs here, Andrew Luck, I don't expect him to do well in the crowd. He plays in the dome, so being outside would definitely change it up. And there might be some snow, rain, wind involved, so this could definitely swing this towards the Chiefs. Last time they played in inclement weather, Chiefs racked up over 220 return yards, so this game could definitely be decided a lot earlier than expected. Cowboys, Redskins. Cowboys, you already know, Tony Romo turning it over. 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter, the loss to the Packers. Redskins turned it over 7 times, and they also lost to the Atlanta Falcons. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Cowboys in this one. As much as Tony Romo gives games away, I just don't see the Redskins being able to keep up. They're turning it over, and they struggle to protect the passer. And the Cowboys, even though their defensive deficiencies, they still find ways to get to the quarterback. Gotta take the Cowboys in this one. Let's see, Browns, Jets. Josh Gordon, a receiving touchdown 5 straight games. Jets secondary struggled this year. And there won't be any Jordan Cameron, so Gary Barnidge will get the start at tight end. Taking the Browns in this one, they have done very well this year, despite the record. I think their pass rush gets out to Geno Smith. They got to get at least 2-3 turnovers, or maybe 3-4 sacks. Josh Gordon should do plenty of damage against a banged-up Cromartie and safeties that aren't really playing to the best of their ability. Take the Browns here. Campbell's done very well in the place of Whedon and Hoyer, whereas the Jets have struggled at times. I'm giving up the big play. I'm taking the Browns in this one. Next up, Buccaneers and Rams. Both of them in turnover differential. Rams plus 11, Buccaneers plus 10. Only two teams that are top 5 in turnover differential that have a losing record. So they definitely know how to protect the ball and force turnovers. Both defenses have performed, overachieved this at times and underachieved at times. Rams, pretty much wrecking crew. Robert Quinn, 15 sacks. I expect him to get after Mike Glennon. I'm taking the Rams in this one. The defense led by Robert Quinn. Then don't forget Laurinaitis, Alec Ogletree, and Chris Long. I think they're going to get after the rookie Mike Glennon. And while the Bucs have played a little better the last few weeks, I just don't see them putting up. I don't see them being able to get past this Rams defense. Cardinals, Seahawks. Palmer, Fitzgerald should play, but they're in Seattle. I don't see that being much of a. I don't see those two be much of a factor. I don't see it being the 58-0 shutout we saw last year in Seattle, saying that was Skelton and not Palmer. But I don't see the Cardinals winning. Seattle too much. When they are at home, get that running game, that defense going, and Russell Wilson's able to work out play action. Should be an exciting game. Both teams with very good defenses and very intriguing offenses. I think Seattle pretty much ends Cardinals' chances right here. I don't see the Cardinals beating Seattle at home. See, Giants, Lions, both teams coming off a loss, just one worse than the other. Eli, 25 picks on the year. He threw 5 last week against Seattle. Detroit giving up that 61-yard kick to Justin Tucker last week. 18-17 loss on Monday night. I'm going to take the Lions in this one. Their defense should be able to keep Eli Manning out of the end zone. And with Victor Cruz not being able to play, that's one less consistent of a receiver Eli Manning has to throw to. Take the Lions. Matthew Stafford, Calvin Johnson, Reggie Bush should get back on track this week against a very poor Giant defense. Patriots, Ravens. Patriots coming off the loss, Ravens coming off that big win. Ravens still in it. Just don't forget they got the Dolphins and the Chargers right behind them, so they need a win. Patriots struggling in the red zone last week, 1 for 4. I think it's going to be probably a very tough game. They're expected to be rain, wind, and probably messy. For the Ravens, they got to run the ball. Patriots 29th rate run defense. For the Patriots, they got to find ways to score touchdowns. Raven defense has definitely overachieved this year, considering all the losses. I think I'm going to take the. I don't know. I think I'm going to take the Ravens in this one. Patriots have been a very nice story this year, being able to win despite all the losses. But they're not playing well, and if you can't score, you can't win. You don't win. And the Ravens, even though they're field goals, they are scoring. I'm going to go ahead and take the Baltimore Ravens in this one. Raiders, Chargers. Raiders just led, and the defense just fell apart last week. And guess what? They got to face another screen bag this week. It was Danny Woodhead of the Chargers. This shouldn't even be close. Chargers give up with the 4th most fantasy points. Yeah, I'm using fantasy points here. Now we're short the yardage, but in terms of fantasy points, they give up the 4th most fantasy points to quarterbacks. They give up a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns. Rivers, 28 touchdowns, only 9 picks on the year, and over 4,000 yards. Keenan Allen, near 1,000 yards, and Danny Woodhead and Ryan Matthews are giving the Chargers nice balance. Raiders, though, Rashad Jennings, he's definitely played well. He's at over 100 scrimmage yards in 5 of the past 6 weeks, so it looks like he'll probably think Darren McFadden might be out of Oakland next year with Rashad Jennings playing so well. I'm going to take the Chargers in this one. Even though the Raiders did beat the Chargers earlier this year, that was in Oakland with Terrell Pryor, I don't see the Raiders winning this one in San Diego the way the Chargers are playing right now. Steelers-Packers, no Rodgers. That's okay. Matt Flynn threw 4 touchdowns in the second half last week in the comeback win. Although I don't see them winning this week. The Steelers defense is a lot tougher than Dallas. The Steelers defense definitely shows more looks. And Big Ben doesn't give games away like Tony Romo. I expect this to be a very close game. I think the Packers might be able to move. I think the Packers might be able to get a few deep plays against this aging Steelers secondary. Ultimately, I think Big Ben, the Steelers offense, puts up way too many points. Matt Flynn cannot play in a shootout. And with the Packer defense being so inconsistent, I think the Steelers might be able to put up big points this week in Green Bay. This Haley offense for the Steelers has definitely got the Steelers offense trending in the right direction. Last 2 games, Bears, Eagles. Both of them, Bears coming off a win, Eagles coming off a loss. I expect this to be a shootout. Both defenses struggle against the pass. Both quarterbacks can put the ball in the air. Both of them have great receivers. I'm gonna take the Bears in this one. As much as I like the Eagles and Nick Foles, and many yards that I expect him to throw for, the Bears just have the better defense. I think at some point, the quarterback that throws an interception is a team that's going to lose. Both defenses are bad. I think the Bears just have a little bit more in the secondary. And with Nick Foles, he's thrown 2 interceptions the last few weeks after going pickless over the first 4 or 5. So he might be trending down just a little bit. Take the Bears in this one. The Eagles defense is just porous, give up the most fantasy points to wide receivers. I just don't see the Eagles winning this one. Bears, yeah, they got this one. They put themselves in better position to win the NFC North. Final game, last game at Candlestick Park, Falcons at Niners. I don't see this one being close. Niners should win this one. Atlanta, they've struggled all year. They won last week against the Redskins, and then they beat Buffalo, I believe, the week before. But this is the 49ers. Their defense should get after Matt Ryan. And remember last year in the championship game, they beat the Falcons in Atlanta. And in the last game at Candlestick Park, I think they'll be motivated enough to go out and get a big win for the fans, for the team, and really the legacy of Candlestick Park. They catch 1, they catch 2, and then a couple years ago they catch 3. So there's really a lot of teams. Just a stadium full of history and wins. Great quarterbacks have walked to that stadium, and great receivers, great defenses, even the losers, just great players, great teams, great coaches gone through that place. It's going to be very sad to see that stadium go. I would take the Niners in this one. The run game should dominate the Falcon run defense, and Kaepernick should be able to work off play action to Crabtree, Davis, and Bolden. Again, my picks, I'm going to go with Niners over Falcons, Bears over Eagles, Steelers over Packers, Chargers over Raiders, Ravens over Patriots, Lions over Giants, Seahawks over Cardinals, Rams over Bucks, Browns over Jets, Cowboys over Redskins, Chiefs over Colts, Titans over Jaguars, Broncos over Texans, Bengals over Vikings, Panthers over Saints, Dolphins over Bills. Those are my Week 16 predictions. I'll probably check back hopefully on Monday or Tuesday for recap of this week as well as Monday Night Football. I'm Devereaux Frazier, and I'm out.